Hi, everybody. We're live from the foothills of the Rocky Mountains in beautiful Longmont, Colorado. Welcome to BluePrint Automation's Pack Expo Connect showcase and live demo of our Spyder 300V case packer. I'm Joe Crompton, Vice President of Robotics and Technology and one of the founders of our Vision Guided Robotics division here in Longmont. We appreciate you joining us today for a demo of one of our newest and most exciting machines, the Spyder 300V. I'm here with Mike Rebollo, who's helping me with the presentation and will later be joining me on camera to relay your questions to me in the chat session. In just a few minutes, you'll see a video showing a versatile multi-robot case loading system with vision guidance and inspection to package pouches of dried fruit. You'll see the system packing pouches horizontally, top loading into cases, but also vertically into a double-face display case, all at the same time. With integrated vision, this solution allows for random high-speed product presentation as well as inspection for any non-conforming product, ensuring that only good product is loaded into cases. The real advantage of this system is that it provides a lot of flexibility in packaging formats. It's capable of packing bulk, variety, display, and single flavor packs all on a single machine. Built for quick changeover between recipes, the Spyder 300V is capable of handling standard RSC cases, three-sided displays, and a wide range of other secondary containers. The system can even be configured with auto tool change for easy and quick changeover within seconds at the simple push of a button. The Spyder 300V features our standard modular frame designed to reduce cost by minimizing wiring and significantly minimizing overall footprint since there are no bulky external electrical cabinets. After we watch the video, we'll return for a short Q&A session. If you have any questions throughout this demo, please use the group chat box to the right or send us your questions in a private chat. If we are unable to get to your questions in the allotted time, we promise to follow up with you directly. We know our time today is limited to 15 minutes, so we have a team of experts online. We welcome one-on-one chats afterwards to answer any additional questions you may have and learn about the specific needs of your company. Without further ado, I introduce to you the exciting Spyder 300V case packer. Enjoy the video. Here, we see the Delta robots creating the patterns on the belts that later get transferred to the case loading robots. Notice the two different patterns created on the conveyor belts. One pattern is for the traditional top load format, the other for the stand-up display case. Versatility is the name of the game here. These pouches are being identified and inspected using 3D vision, which provides precise robot pickup location as well as rejection of bags that are out of spec. In the case of rejected pouches, these Delta robots simply do not pick them and they fall off the end of the incoming conveyor into a tote. Now we can see the robot that is set up to load into a vertical display case. You can see the double face pattern created of overlapping bags that shoot into the waiting robot where it collects and holds the pouches. It then pivots and places the pouches into the case, releases the pouches, releases the case, and then goes back for another load. The tool is easily adjustable for different sizes and formats of pouches. For an even larger range of bag sizes, a different tool can easily be attached to handle almost any size product. On this side, we see a robot configured to place into a top load case with an alternating flat pattern. This pattern is built with the same Delta robots and vision guidance and inspection, again resulting in only the good product being placed into the case. These loading robots can be configured as shown in order to build two different formats at the same time, or configured the same to get twice the throughput on a particularly fast-running format. For very large cases, such as a three-sided club store display, the two robots can be coordinated together to move a very large tool to handle larger, heavier product.
Welcome back. Hopefully everyone got a chance to see the video. I'm Mike Rebollo, and I will be asking Joe lots of questions from the chat. Joe, the first question I got is, I see flat bottom doy bags running on the video, but I mainly run pillow bags. Can this machine run pillow bags as well?
Sure. Pretty much any bag format can be run, and even other types of containers, block bottom containers, even cartons, but certainly all kinds of flexible pouches. It's really just whatever can be arranged on this pattern belt by the deltas can be run on this sign.
Next question I got is, one of the most common cases we see right now is that single display case of stand-up pouches. Mm-hmm. Can this run a single row of stand-up pouches?
Absolutely. Again, it's really whatever format you want from the deltas. The deltas are forming the pattern upstream and shooting into these robots here, and that can be single row, double row, multiple row. It's just whatever this end effector is set up for, and whatever the deltas build can be run. That's one of the advantages, is it's just recipe driven, changing from format to format.
Great. And a common question we hear all the time, what's the max bag rate and what's the max case rate of this system?
Okay, that's a good question. The deltas, on this system there are 2 deltas, and each delta is running roughly, we say, around 120 a minute in this application. So that's the bag rate. So there's 2 deltas on here. The robot is limited. Again, it's a little bit dependent on what you're running and how big, but generally we say 22 to 25 cases a minute on each of these case loading robots here. So in a situation like this, you could have a different robot running 2 different formats, or if you had a particularly high running, high speed, you could configure both robots to do the same. Effectively, you're doubling your throughput. It's just kind of whatever format you want to run the machine in.
Okay. Yep. And that's one of the things we really need to take a look at for your application, is what specifically is your case, your pack pattern, what's the size of the cases, what's the size of the bags, and what's the rate of them either coming off the bagger or other type of forming equipment.
One of the things I might say, Mike, is when this system's not starring in these videos, it is our test bed, so we can test customers' packages, formats, and things like that here if they send us, to get an idea of rates and things like that.
So we can actually do, the customer can send their bags, their cases, and we can do some demonstrations and prove it out.
That's really the best way, especially if there's some concern about what kind of pattern can be formed by the bags. You can send us display or send us samples of the pouches, and we can test those out here. We can test rates. We can look at, see if your cases can run under it, even develop a custom gripper if we need to prove things out, if it's a particularly tricky package or a real fragile package or something like that. So we do a lot of the testing ahead of time if customers will send us that stuff to make sure it's going to work.
Okay. And then I also know that we have the robotic simulation software as well. And we can run those simulations with this configuration as well, whether it's 1 Delta robot or 2 Delta robots, whether it's 1 1200 or 2 1200 robotic arms at the end.
And that's a good way of testing just overall rate. If you say, okay, here's the patterns I'm forming, here's how fast the deltas run. If you want to really test the whole thing as a system rate-wise, that's a great way to do it, is with a software simulation.
Software simulation.
Yep, absolutely.
Great. I didn't see any electrical enclosures on this system. Are they in a remote location?
Well, no, they are all built into these blue enclosures right here that are within the footprint of the frame. That's one of the real advantages of this, is there are no external electrical cabinets. All of the controls are on board within the footprint, so there's no external cabinets, minimizing the footprint and saving that valuable floor space, which is getting more and more scarce these days.
Well, that leads into the next question is, what's the dimensions of this system?
This system is about, what do we say, Mike, 6 feet by about 20 feet or so. Now, that's dependent on how many deltas you have. If you have more deltas, that will extend the length of it. If you have fewer deltas, it will shorten the length of it. And you can also, systems don't have to have 2 case loading robots. So if you only had 1, you could narrow this down a little bit too. This is just kind of a typical standard sort of middle of the road system that we set up for testing and demoing here, but lots of possibilities with a footprint.
Lots of configurations are available.
Absolutely.
Okay. Here's another good question. Can I feed the system with a twin bagger?
Absolutely. The way the bags come in is really arbitrary. You just have to get them to the vision belt. It would take some conveyor work upstream to get them to this conveyor belt. This conveyor belt can be different widths. If you have bigger bags or narrower for smaller bags, and the two different outfeed belts, maybe you only have one. It all depends on your configuration. But a lot of twin baggers are out there, and you just have to get the two lanes from the two tubes coming out into a common belt right here. Now, it is vision guided, so it's not critical how those come. Those can come randomly oriented, and the vision system will tell the robots the right orientation to pick the pouches, as well as do inspections. So if there's doubles, stuck together bags that are too high, overfilled, it will reject those. It'll reject those. Absolutely.
Well, that is one of the other questions is what about random associated bags? And I think you just explained that really well.
Yeah, that's one of the real powers of this is the random infeed. So you need to touch the product as minimally as possible coming in. You just get it in and we'll figure out the orientation as well as do the inspection. And I should probably clarify when I say rejecting, what happens is the bad product is just not picked by the robots, by the deltas, and just falls into a reject bin here. So only good product is passed to the case loading robots. So that's the real advantage of this is the vision guided aspect of that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And what do you use for vision guided?
Well, there's lots of different possibilities, again, ranging from simple grayscale vision systems to just find a simple orientation up to 3D. This particular one is using a SICK 3D vision system that is scanning and actually determining the height of the bag as well as the lower end and the higher end to make sure that the header goes into the gripper and ultimately the case in the correct orientation. So lots of range of vision systems out there.
Okay, great. And what about in a wash down execution? Because we do have a lot of configurations, a lot of customers that they have to have stainless steel wash down.
Yep, you can absolutely do this. We've done a few systems that are our full stainless sanitary wash down, minimal standoffs and all of that, stainless conveyors, everything to take the really high level of sanitary wash down out there in the especially handling naked product or the salad industry, anything like that where sanitation is high. You can't get this in a full stainless IP69K frame.
And in addition to that, we have a tubeless frame option as well.
Yeah, kind of the trend now is even tubeless. So not, even enclosed tubes aren't there. We have a full tubeless frame that has no enclosed cavities in the frame. And that's a really nice way for those to solve those really high sanitation needs.
Right. Let me see what other questions we got here. How about this one? Can this system pack a case with a cuffed bag?
Sure. There's no inherent reason not. However you can get the cases to there, obviously as long as they fit in the system, this has a pretty wide range of sizes of cuff bags. But we need to take a look at the poly bag to make sure that it's going to fit. This will go down inside of the case to shoehorn in, so we'd have to take a look to make sure. But there's no reason this can't run a cuff bag.
Yeah. Cases that are lined with the bags we need to really take a close look at those and make sure we understand that application that
it's a tight cuff and you don't pull the bag back out.
Right, because if the product can go in and pull the cuff in.
Absolutely.
Okay. Let's see.
Looks like maybe we're running out of time.
We are running out of time.
Or maybe that's it.
That's it. Well, thank you very much for watching the Spider 300V demo, and be sure to check out our other videos and demos the rest of the week and what we'll be showing on our website.
Contact your regional sales manager. They can answer all your more questions.
That's it.